Well, 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 lads. Here we are, once again. Welcome, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend so far, wherever you are. Mine's been pretty chill. Got to work from home last night. Yeah, I am tired of these late accusations. My clock says 3:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight, okay? No fraud. I am not late. Never. White on time. I'll take that. I'll take that. What's up, Billy? I told you the post-war arc was going to go crazy, Dritz. No, Sen told me that. Sen's the originator of the meme. Doesn't Buggy excite me as a character? Listen, I don't think there's a single person in the One Piece fandom that username and profile picture isn't Buggy that would say that Buggy the character excites them. That's not his point. That's not what he's there to do. What's up, Carmelo? Yeah, Carmelo Anthony is just rent-free in my head because that's what I wanted to call you. God damn. What's up, Tesla? Almighty Fish Mix. Yo, fish. We're at the top of state, and how's everyone doing? Like normal with my streams, we're just gonna chill, talk for a little bit. I'll give my thoughts on the chapter because people have already asked me to explain myself because of my Twitter post. So we'll be doing that, and then just basically just chilling. I did not intend for the last stream to be 4.5 hours, as per usual, or 5 hours it was close to. But that's just the way it ended up being. It will not be that long today, for sure. I got too much Smite to play. Where's the freaking Gabagoo? Thoughts on Pat Bev joining the Lakers? Oh, fuck. Well, he's better than THT, but, God, Pat Bev, bro. I might have slit my wrists if we had gotten a trade package that also included Jay Crowder. And if the Lakers had somehow gotten Marcus Smart, I would have stopped being a LeBron fan, officially. Will I VOD this one? Yeah, I VOD the last one too. I VOD the last one as well. It's on the backup channel. That was a good stream, though. It was a good stream. I just don't want to stream for 5 hours again. At least not here. Going into a computer coding boot camp, says Dreamshake Jones. Any thoughts on that? A coding boot camp? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I don't know if you're going into one where you have to. It's like the Revature stuff, which is like a scam. But if it's just a regular coding boot camp, then there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a good way to learn. I'll say that. I would probably try to fraud my way into a job. But a boot camp without going to college is a really good way to learn code, to be honest. It's going to be hell, I imagine, but as long as you stay with it, it should produce good results. Assuming you're good. Bro, please start weekly reviews. People are interested. Well, I used to review One Piece Weekly back in the old days when this channel had like 300 videos on it. I don't know if anyone here remembers the days when I was reviewing Wano in-depth weekly from Act 1 to 2. And I was doing like 40-minute reviews on like every single chapter. Talking about how everything could go wrong and what was the worst case scenario was. I used to do live reactions too, where I would predict the worst thing that could happen, and then it would happen. Can we run some Smite games? Yeah, add me. It's Dritz Duerden with 2 R's. It's like it's my backup channel. If you know what my VOD channel is, that's my username on Smite. Yeah, but Marcus Smart is actually good, though. It's not a matter of if Marcus Smart is good. It's a matter of how much I hate him. What's up, Kenya? Why no more face cam? The face cam comes out every once in a while. Like, you guys don't see it. But the main way that I like to stream when it's like doing like this is I cover myself in my covers. I lean back in my chair that can go like 100, like 220 degrees, some shit like that. And I just basically lay down with my feet on my desk looking at the chat. So that is not a good camera angle. Which my VOD's channel. Let me. Actually, I should probably. Let me go find it. I'll link it and put it into the description of this video. And then you should be able to find it for anyone that is curious. Oh, did I get like 600 subscribers? Oh, no. That's like 200. Never mind. I can't count. Let me. Where is. I gotta go and edit the stream. Go live. Do I edit it here? Where's the... Oi. Where's the description? I can't edit the description? What's always... Oh, the button was hidden because I had it minimized. VOD channel. Save. Okay, so if you refresh the stream in a bit, the VOD channel will be in the description. What's up, Yosef? Have I read Stormlight? Yeah, I've read volumes 1, 2, and 3. I have not read Rhythm of War yet. Hey, Tritz, I actually just frauded my way into a programming job. That's the #1 way to do it, guys. That is the best way to get a better paying job, is to fraud your way into it. That's what I've done. I remember those collabs used to do Dritz. Those were peak. Yeah, you guys remember the neck to necks? The good old neck to necks. Yeah, I no longer have that Nami poster, Gevinth. I no longer have it with me, unfortunately. I still have the body pillow, though. Putting this on the side channel, Dritz. Don't think I can watch it. Yeah, it'll be on the side channel, dude. That neck to neck with Taekwon was legendary. That's why it's still up. Like, you guys know I've deleted 99% of my videos. But I kept the Taekwon up because it's just too memorable to let go. Dritz, your best and worst interview experiences? Well, I don't really... Okay, so my worst interview experience was actually... I was working for a hedge fund, one of the biggest hedge funds in the world. And I was applying to... I did end up getting the job, but I had 9 interviews for the job. And on the 8th interview, I was in a Zoom call with 2 guys... And the one guy was grilling me on technical questions I didn't know the answer to. So I had to come up with answers on the fly, but they were wrong. So it felt pretty bad failing the technical exam. But I did end up passing it because of like because of my personality, but I failed the technical aspect. So that was my worst experience. Best experiences is like, I feel like I'm pretty decent at interviews. So most of my interviews have gone fairly well because most jobs, depending on the company you work for, they don't prioritize, how well can you do the job right now. What they care about is your personality, how you mesh with the group, and if you're willing to be taught. And I'm pretty good at that. So I usually pass on like personality and just, being humble and truthful and stuff like that. That's the best way to get the managers and people to like you. Hey, just find your channel and binge all your One Piece videos, top tier content. Hey, Banana, I appreciate that. Why did so many other One Piece fans genuinely think Buggy was super competent and was actually in charge? Uh, did they? Is that a thing? That they think that he was super in charge and competent? That doesn't sound like they're reading the same story as me. Biggest lie told in an interview? I think the biggest lie I ever told in the interview was lying about stuff I did on the job. Because a lot of questions that you'll get in interviews is like, tell us a bit about what you did on the job. Give us an example of you overcoming blah, 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 blah. Or, how you handled adversity and what was it. So, I have a few real stories of that, and then I also have a couple fake stories that prop myself up. Something that's low-key, but just enough where it actually matters. Why did I drop Baki? Shut up. Shut up. Dressed Up Berserk video made me sad knowing we'll never see Miura's version of events. Yes, you guys, you probably weren't there, but when the news broke last year of what happened, I was in a dark place, man. I was devastated. $10 from Tap Tap No Me. He says, missed my man last stream. You heard anything you like about Film Red, and if you did, what are your expectations? I don't really have many expectations for Film Red. I'm not a big fan of One Piece movies in general, and I'll typically give them. I don't like to watch them. If people don't know that, I do not like the One Piece movies overall. At best, they're like okay for an anime movie, but I don't really care about them because they're kind of conceptually dead concepts that will not hit what I want for the story. So they're normally just a waste of time and fan service. So I normally don't care about them. With the Shanks stuff, however, whenever it first came out that it was called Film Red, I was interested because obviously Shanks. But then I lost interest when it started getting into how much it was about like Adu and fucking Uta and how little, Shanks was really there. And I kind of stopped caring. So I've heard stuff about the movie, but now I've lost interest in it. I don't want to see it anymore. Do you prepare the fake stories? I've been thinking that I need to start making them more thorough. Not really. I usually just kind of wing it. which I probably should have them down to a science, but in most cases, I go into the interviews very underprepared. I don't really study much before the interviews. I just kind of go in there. I'm like, well, I'll probably be fine. And then if I need to lie, I'll just wing it. But one thing that's actually helped me in interviews, shout outs to streaming, but being comfortable talking in front of like people you don't know and just speaking in general, streaming and YouTube has helped me a lot in that aspect. Where do I play Yu-Gi-Oh? Central Ohio. Hey, Glam, shut up, bitch. Please tell me you at least like Baron Omatsuri in the Secret Island. Yeah, I do. Mainly because of the ending. I think the ending's really good. What's up, Scapy? No, I have not watched Doctor Who. That's never been my, like, I never even gave it a chance. I've heard about Doctor Who. I've heard people talk about it, but I've never seen it myself. Glam, I will body you in the post. You ain't fighting nothing. Just tuned in. Thoughts on the Mihawk news? All right, so... okay, so let me just give my quick thoughts on the chapters, guys. I was going to save it for like a few more minutes, but well, let's just get into it. And for people that have questions later, they can just go back and read it. All right, so... a number of people have asked me how I felt about the recent chapter on Twitter, and I replied by saying that I was unmoved. Shout outs to Naya, my boy. A lot of you know that like I'm the Mihawk guy, and it's also no secret that I think Crocodile is the best villain in One Piece, easily. So naturally, whenever I said I was unmoved about the chapter, this raised some eyebrows, and I want to explain why this chapter didn't move me. So first things first. I'm not coming from the angle here where I think there's stuff wrong with this chapter that no one else is seeing, and that's why I feel the way that I feel. I do think this chapter was bad for Dragon, but that's besides the point. If the me from 4 or 5 years ago read this chapter, then I'd probably be hyped just like everyone else. But these chapters and stuff like this happening in One Piece doesn't do anything for me anymore. I've seen too much to continue falling for what I think is a trap. Post-time skip One Piece has followed a very consistent pattern. Every arc starts off just fine and dandy because all Oda has to do is build intrigue and introduce the pieces to the puzzle, which is the plot. You know, all he has to do is show you something that indicates the potential for where the story could go. But then, when Oda has to build that puzzle and do some real writing, things go downhill and spiral out of control to varying degrees. The arc ends, and then there will be some epilogue in between chapters that tackle other story elements. They're usually hype as shit, they get you interested and excited for the future, and then the cycle repeats itself, ultimately leading to the same result every time. I've watched Oda fail time and time again. I've seen too many characters and plot lines that look like they were too good to fail end up being a disappointing mess. What Oda is doing in this chapter is the easy stuff. And I'm not settling for easy anymore. I'm done. I have no reason to believe that One Piece is going to be different now than how it's been for the past 10 years. I have no faith in Oda being remotely good, because I've seen nothing to say otherwise, and I'm in the business of show me. Until Oda can prove to me that he can see something through from beginning to end and make it good, there's no reason for me to get excited at these crumbs he's throwing. No matter how tender, how exquisite they may be, a lie will remain a lie. I'm not going to care or invest myself until I see more. So I wait, patiently, until the seeds start bearing fruit. I'm not going to trash on stuff or anything like that. I just don't care. This should be an easy perspective to understand if you have any understanding of how I view One Piece. If you're different, totally fine. But, you know, for these setup chapters and stuff like this, I'm good. I'm good. I'll feel something seeing where they end up going. But at the beginning of the play, In Act 1, yeah, Oda's lost the right to make me excited like he used to in the past. So it's not happening anymore. And that's my overall thoughts on the chapter. The Minecraft music is playing in the background for me, and it's this shit is hooping. All right, Glam. I didn't like the chapter because of how Oda did the Marines. The Marines are going to continue taking L's, boys. Dritz, now that Boa isn't mentioned, are you on the side that she got off screened? It's more than like, listen, it's probably going to be a lose-lose situation. I've talked about this Boa stuff before. What is, in my opinion, best for the story is not going to happen. You are going to get one of two options, which is like a fake out where Boa and Koby team up, or Boa gets captured. Both of which I think are bad options. How do you feel about Kainu basically becoming Sengoku 2.0? It's not cool. If anything, it goes against Kainu's character to the highest degree. I don't like it. Do I feel like Sabo is stealing Dragon's Thunder? Do I feel like that? I know that. That's exactly what's happened. The Marines only sent fodder after Mihawk, which is why is Oda saving SSGU when we know they'll probably be gags? Well, I told everyone, like, oh, who did Oda send after Mihawk? Nobody. I said that. He wasn't going to send anybody. And that's what happened. Dritz, a few months ago, you were saying Mihawk is down bad. Do you think he's doing better after this chapter? Not from the perspective of what my deepest, darkest fears are with Mihawk, no. If anything, they might be more realized with this chapter. I mean, obviously, there's like, in isolation, there's some good stuff from Mihawk here, but I wouldn't say outside of the bounty, nothing super crazy or anything. Do I think Mihawk and Crocodile's bounties are too high, especially Crocodile? Yeah. I mean, I think they are too high. I think Mihawk's is too high. I mean, I'll take it as like a Mihawk fan, but realistically, it's too high considering, like, to justify a bounty this big. Well, that gets into the whole bounty thing, which I'm not as excited for the bounty as other people are. I would have preferred if Mihawk got this bounty while being alone instead of being a part of a group, but... Do I like the new McDonald's Marineford? Yeah, dude, it's doing so much work. Dritz, in the pictures of Oda's house, there's an angelic golden Denden Mushi that says SSG on it. I think Oda is setting up the Marines to be jobbers so the SSG can come and carry them. What better way would there to be to completely destroy the entire structure of the Marines more than it already is than for that to be the case? That seems like it would happen. Opa, do you have an issue with Sanji's bounty not being third in the group? Actually, yeah. I think Sanji should be third in the group. I don't think there's any good reason why the Straw Hats bounties are so low. Like Jinbei, Zoro, and Sanji should all have higher bounties, to be honest. Like Oda, we're near the end of the story. Just make them have higher bounties than the people that they beat, bro. It's not a big deal. Make Zoro have a higher bounty than King. He was just part of a movement that destroyed 2 Yonko, dude. Like, how the hell is he like barely above 1 billion? It doesn't make any sense. How is Crocodile a bigger threat with his move? Like, no. Just give the boys the bigger number so that people can have that dopamine in their brain release. Like, oh my god, big number. Do I think Crocodile got power crept to be on the same level as other top tiers, seeing how his bounty is way higher than the commanders? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what happened to a lesser degree, not as high as what people think probably Crocodile is right now, but whenever we saw him lose to Luffy in Alabasta and then he came into Marineford, you know, jobbing with the other commanders, it's like, hold on, wait. You know, that's like an example of Oda just not having the full grasp of the power scaling in his story. And that's why there's like that disconnect between the strength levels. Nakama Eclipse says, let's be honest, Dritz, the story says Mihawk is better than Shanks, but the fact that Shanks is clearly the most relevant character in the endgame makes people doubt it. Okay. The story does not say that Mihawk is better than Shanks. But I know what you're saying. I agree. Oda still wants to keep the Strats looking like underdogs when they simply aren't. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I mean, but like, there's only so. If that's the actual reasoning, then that's another one of the issues with One Piece as we're heading into the end game. Thoughts on Dofi maybe joining Cross Guild? I would much rather Dofi be on his own, to be honest. Like, I don't. When it comes to the Cross Guild stuff, you guys know how I feel. I don't like the Cross Guild to begin with. But when it comes to like Dofi and these characters, I would rather them kind of be on their own, doing their own thing, rather than being in a guild together. Five currency from JP Legend is not Joy Boy that going to bring down the Marine government, but their incompetence. Oh yes, that's definitely probably going to be the case. Usopp did nothing except be extra cowardly this arc, and he still got 500 million. Oh, but his name's God Usopp. Isn't that funny? Don't worry, bro. Just wait for Elbaf. Then Usopp will do something for the first time in 10 years. Opal, which send-offs do you think should have been included in Wano? In my opinion, I wanted to see a Luffy and Tama goodbye and Zoro saying goodbye to Hiyori. Oh, there are a lot of send-offs that should have been there. Definitely agree with the Luffy and Tama stuff. But you guys know that I'm pretty butthurt over Tama. So that holds an extra deep spot in my heart for how fucked it is. Do I still think Mihawk is Yonko level? Yeah. Mihawk definitely ain't losing to that fucking bum Big Mom, I'll tell you that. I genuinely thought Wano's epilogue would be at least decent. The ending was shockingly bad, says Miriam. I'm the same. I'm with you. I think I've said it before in previous streams where I thought that regardless of like how bad Wano was going to be, Oda would at least would nail the epilogue because he normally does. And for like the first time in a long time, Oda just completely fucked up the epilogue, which was like impressive. You know, how do you do that? I don't know. What was wrong with the revolutionary section of the chapter? What's wrong with it is that it does like, I'm sure this wasn't like Oda's intention, but it comes off that way just because of the way that the rest of the story's been. Dragon stalks are always down. He is such a fraud. The entire sequence where he said the gayest Japanese saying of all time, "I'll never forgive you." I rue the day Japan put that into the hemisphere, or like into the air of what people say. "Well, I'll never forgive you." But when Dragon, the guy who's leading the revolutionary army against the evil overlords, doesn't recognize that there's propaganda in the fucking newspaper, and he has to question whether or not his right hand man did some bad shit. "Well, I'll never forgive you." Nah, it doesn't look good, man. Like, he's not looking raw because of that. Like, I know what Oda's trying to do there. It just doesn't come off cool. Like, it's just ridiculous, guys. Like, oh, gosh. Dragon is the most important part of the revolutionaries. Like, no one else really matters to me for the revolutionaries other than Dragon, and this guy's out here just being a bum consistently. Tony Snelling every single time he's on panel. And what's more, maybe if shit wouldn't have gone bad if you just went to the fucking river, you bum. Fraud. It's not like he doesn't know Sabo for 20 years. Bro, like, he helped raise Sabo. Like, Sabo was a kid who joined the Revolutionary Army. Dragon basically helped raise this guy, and he's, like, doubting, like, oh, would he kill a random king from a country? Oh, well, you better be prepared for the consequences. Like, okay, dude. Who is down worse, Dragon or Akainu? Dragon. Easily Dragon. Easily Dragon. He is down so bad, guys. The list of L's he's taken, like, we used to defend these all of the time back in the old days on the Brago streams. We used to be like, no, don't worry about it. The referee's going to fix it. Dragon's going to be cool. Yeah, so what if he ran from his home base from Blackbeard? His entire organization ran from Blackbeard. They're just not, they're preparing for the Reverie. Dragon's going to do something there, and then Dragon doesn't show at the Reverie. The revolutionary commanders are mid as fuck. And it's like, well, don't worry about it. It's Sabo and Dragon are the only ones that matter. And it's like, oh no. All off screens. Let's go. Dragon doesn't show up for the declaration of war against the movement that he's leading, and he's the most important character for. Oh, sick, dude. Thank you, Oda. Oh, what's that? What's that? We get a newspaper saying that shit went wrong because Dragon didn't go, and Dragon's looking at the newspaper like sweating his balls off, going like, "Oh, we gotta verify the facts first. Fuck, my second in command. Shit." Like, oh my gosh, he's just sitting there on Kamabaka Island with the girls drinking tea, while his henchmen are there doing the real work. Like, oh, please. Yamate Kudasai. What happened to that fucking tattoo you got on your face, you dumb idiot? Yeah, this tattoo means freedom, but I'm just gonna chill over here, bye. Jesus. Dragon was so cool. Oh, fuck. And now he's on fraud watch always. Why? Bro. Jesus. Yeah, bro. But believe in Dragon. He's gonna be cool, dude. Don't worry about it. Oh. Do you know what everyone? Oh my fuck! I'm gonna stop talking about it. Thinking about Dragon. What's more? What's more? Sabo does some shit at the fucking Reverie, and like the newspaper in the world's like his infamy has already surpassed Dragon's. What the fuck has this guy been doing? He doesn't show up for the most important event in his entire organization's life, and his fucking right hand man is like more important than him. Oh my god. Please. You call a dragon a slacktivist? Let me see here. The dragon thoughts and prayers. Sean K says, Dritz, what are your thoughts on Yasep being a bum and saying he wasn't ready to meet Usopp? I wanted Yasep to kind of be like Shanks and be waiting for Usopp, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Well, I don't think Yasep and Shanks really ever came off as kind of like the same guy. Yasep always kind of came off as a bit of a bum to me. I never got the inclination that he was like waiting for Usopp to like get to his level. He never made a promise to Usopp or anything like that. He just left to go chase adventure. You know, he's not as raw as like Jingen doing it. Will I be covering all this in my next Downfall video? Yeah, all the Reverie stuff, everything that I just talked about will be explained in more depth in the next Downfall video. We gotta talk about the Reverie because, yeah, the Reverie, man. Sick. Did Usopp meet his dad? I don't remember. I don't think they've seen each other ever. I think Yasep left him when he was a baby. He has memories of his mom talking about Yasep, but he's never actually seen him himself. Dritz, why isn't Perona with Mihawk? Perona will probably be a plot device later on for whatever happens with Moria, I'm assuming. That might not even include Mihawk, whatever happens. That might be a Zoro thing. Yasep is probably like Jing without any of the setup. Yeah, but at least Jing's like one of the coolest characters in Hunter x Hunter, bro. I love Jing. Yasep's like, you know, He's there, I guess. Yeah, I can't really say like I'm even looking forward to the Yasop stuff a whole lot because it doesn't really feel like it's even been built up a whole lot. Like where my emotions aren't really there because there's no like ongoing storyline with it. I mean, Oda will do something with it eventually, but Usopp meeting Yasop's like, okay, that's fine. Is Elbaf even going to happen now? I still think it's guaranteed to happen. If it doesn't, then that would tell me the extent of how much Oda's changed from his original plans. But I'm rolling with the assumption that it's going to happen. Godo says, Dritz, they basically revealed Ben Beckman as Conquers Hockey in the anime and the official phone game having red black lightning from his gun. You believe in the hype from the data books? To a certain extent. I mean, I kind of expected Beckman to have Conquers Hockey, just because I think that's just what Oda was going to go for anyway. Although I'm not sure how much I care about Beckman anymore. We'll see. To be honest, I'm still kind of upset with Oda at not giving the person whose name is King Conquers Hockey. I felt like I would have liked that. That would have been cool, but I guess not. Driss, if you can pick one of the fights / interactions that were off screen to be shown, which would you pick? For me, it's what happened between Kaido and Shanks. Something that was off screen that I would want to see. Jesus. Let me think. I mean, there's like a lot of easy ones I can point to. A lot of them are still in the post time skip. Seeing Kaido and Shanks would have been lit, although I'm not like stressed that we haven't seen it. So this isn't like high up on my list, but I want to bring it up because it got off-screened, and I actually would have liked to have seen how these characters interacted. So I would have loved to have seen how Smoker and Akainu interacted with each other. Because if you guys remember, at the end of Punk Hazard, Aokiji tells Smoker to get in contact with Akainu and tell him to mobilize the admirals, which is like kind of pretty important, right? Like that could be a cool scene. We've never seen a Smoker, who is one of the quote-unquote good Marines, interact with Akainu, who's like, you know, quote-unquote one of the bad Marines. So if Smoker ever mattered to the story, that would have been a cool sequence to see, just to see how they oppose each other or stuff like that. But it never happened. They just reported to it off screen. I feel like that also could have been a better way to introduce Akainu in the post-time skip as well. Like seeing Smoker confront him. That would have been cool. How did I like Gear 5? I thought it was a very creative concept, but I can't say I liked it at all. Only 44 minutes in, at least another 60 minutes slander remaining. Yo, my boy Trent Money. I agree with you, Virgil. I never actually needed to see Aokiji versus Akainu. Like that isn't a mandatory part of the story. I know a lot of people harp on that, but for me, that was always cool being off screen. Why did Kaido never challenge Shanks for Mihawk doesn't make any sense. Uh, Listen, a lot of the Yonkos don't really make any sense if you think about it. I think Elbaf will be the location of the final battle and not a mini arc. Emu has a giant straw hat. Elbaf being the location of the final battle, nah, like, nah, I'm good on that, to be honest. Like that is, I feel like that's kind of underwhelming. I would much rather have it be centered around like Marineford, Mary Joa, stuff like that. It being on Elbaf, the final battle, I feel like that's just not epic enough. Does Oda still care about Weevil? That is a good question. So clearly, somewhere along the way, plans changed with Oda because the Marco stuff literally got retconned. And Weevil was supposed to be going after Luffy because he may know where Marco is. So I guess that could still happen, but obviously Weevil is not going to be a threat unless he is literally Whitebeard in his youth, which seems like it's kind of crazy, but I don't know. It's he's not going to be like a Yonka level threat. I don't know what Weevil's here for anymore. He may show up in Elbaf, but he'll probably end up being a good guy. Like, you know, just one of the situations where the Frankenstein monster is being used by for evil by the creator, and then like, you know, they turn into a good guy because Bakken's an evil bitch. Do I think Usopp is dying? If any Straw Hat could die, it would be Usopp. But, geez, well, I don't know. I don't believe strongly that Usopp's dying. I think he has a possibility of dying just based on like, you know, dialogue and stuff that's happened in the past. But oh, my phone's on vibrate. Damn, I need to turn that shit on mute. I hope he doesn't care about Weevil. Yeah, low key. Dritz, how much do you think Oda will just have forgotten to pay off by the end of the story? So it used to be the case that I didn't think Oda would really forget anything. I just thought that the resolution and payoff to it was ultimately going to be lackluster. But Oda would kind of like montage through everything. But seeing as how he literally forgot a bunch of stuff in Wano, I guess it opens the door, more possibilities for more things to be forgotten. We'll see. It depends on if arcs are going to take the exact same approach that Wano is. Dritz, the issue is that because giants live so long in the way Oda has written it, the Void Century would have had the parents and grandparents of current giants. I think Elbaf must be later. Well, how much later? What? Like, we're at the end here. How much later do we gotta wait? Anika says, why in your whole Cook Island video did you say that the cake did nothing to Big Mom even though she passed out when she had eaten it? She did not pass out. She literally has hard eyes and she says, ah, bliss. And then she gets back up. She doesn't pass out. It doesn't solve any problem. The cake doesn't actually do anything. It just gives Big Mom a good time. It's like, you know, Sanji basically gave Big Mom a hand job. Do I think Oda will destroy Crocodile's character moving forward? Not really. I mean, how do you destroy it? I guess it depends if Crocodile is actually used for anything in the story. I never thought that I don't know. Crocodile's kind of weird because my personal wish list for Crocodile is I always wanted him to be involved with the Pluton stuff. But now that's kind of like not as interesting anymore. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like Pluton being in Wano. Because I was more interested in Pluton being associated with Crocodile and Crocodile coming back into the plot whenever Pluton's like discovered and found. And also I really love the idea of a giant ship being hidden in the sands in Alabasta. I thought conceptually that was a really, really cool idea. So I was a bit, even though like it makes sense and stuff, I was a bit let down from the reveal of Pluton being in Wano. As far as Crocodile goes now, I mean, I don't even know why. He'll just be doing stuff. I feel like it's kind of hard to mess him up. Maybe the Ivankov stuff might ruin him, but I don't know how that ruins him. Even if it ends up being true that like he was a girl or something, I don't know how that actually ruins him. It's just kind of like a weird detail. We'll see. There's possibilities for Crocodile. I don't think he's going to be a major player, though. What's up, Leston? Dritz, wouldn't it have been better if Zeus got the bounty and Nami's dropped to 0? It would be more accurate. How do you feel about bounties being Oda's get-out-of-jail-free card? Could you expand on that, Harvest? I'm not really sure how what you're kind of piecing together here. Do I still enjoy pre-time skip One Piece despite how many endgame characters and plot points are being resolved in a pretty lackluster way? Yeah. Like here's the thing. Like I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. But as One Piece becomes worse and worse over time, my love for the pre-time skip actually increases because it's like a pain and suffering type of increase where I actually get more emotional watching old One Piece because I keep seeing what it could have been. So like the scenes that are good, it's like, Jesus, we don't get these anymore. We don't get these at all anymore. So it actually gets me more emotional because I feel for the scene and how good it was, and I feel for the lost potential. How's Snickers, Dritz? Well, sorry to say, Leston, but poor Snickers is no longer with us. She passed away last year. Will I be uploading Smite gameplay with commentary ever again? We like Smite, we like Dritz. That is a question I never thought I would be asked again. Well, there's probably not really much of an audience for Smite gameplay or even commentary. But I've debated on doing it just for fun. We'll see. We'll see. I won't say never, but it could happen again. What are you talking about? Big Mom was on the ground described as mesmerized. I have the manga right next to me. Yeah, look at the panels, bro. What's happening? Is she knocked out? Or did she get revived, full healed, and then went to go fuck Sanji's entire family? Did that not happen? What did the cake actually do? That's what I thought. Gunter says, Dritz, the recent databook revealed that Wano wasn't meant to be opened, but rather be united. So it looks like Oda decided to relocate Pluton from Alabasta to Wano. Really? Where's this databook from? Don't you think Zoro's bounty is too low compared to who he defeated? Yeah, absolutely. He 100% should have had a bigger bounty. Like, just give the people the big numbers, Oda. It's not a big deal. You're in the end game of your story. You can get away with this. How about Master Duel streams? Ugh, Master Duel. Nah, I can't do Master Duel. I would rather do dueling book streams. I can't handle Master Duel, man. I'm sorry. Geez, Rip, she was the best. Yeah, Snickers, that was my girl. You guys know I love that cat more than like anything. Poor Snickers. I miss her. It was weird going down to visit my friends and have her not be there. But I have my memories. What do I think of I still have my crew moment during the post-Marineford arc. Personally, it's one of my favorite moments in the story. Oh, it's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful moment. How could you not like it? It's great. That's Jinbei's Magnus Opum. Night. What's gone is gone. Great scene. Kaizoku says, I was really impressed by your understanding of nuances in storytelling. Oh shit, I'm getting gassed up. I would love to read something written by you. When are you launching your own novella or something? I don't know. Probably not for a long time. But I would like to write something at some point in time. I will update if that ever happens, though. When the Downfall series is over, what's the next video on the schedule? I'll probably make a Berserk video about Chich. For those that don't, I mean, if you know, you know. Then I will probably do a monster video, a Haikyuu video, maybe a Haikyuu video. I'm still thinking on the Haikyuu one, but I'm definitely doing a monster video. When will I start the Vagabond journey, Andre? It's gonna happen. Just give us some time. You know how slow I am and stuff. I gotta finish all this first. The data book is Road to Laugh-Tale Odin plan to unite the country. Unite, huh? Yeah, that just tells me the border stuff kind of changed. Dritz, I guess Oda wants to keep the Shroud's bounties lower than their next big opponents. I'd rather Oda lowered King Queen's bounty than those bums deserve less. I mean, like the bounties can be manipulated at any point in time. Like, I don't know, it doesn't matter that much. Johan slander video progress. Well, I haven't written it yet, so. So I've read all of Haikyuu? Yeah. Yeah, I've read all of Haikyuu. Do I think Luffy's moments post Marineford are undercut by his lack of development during the time skip? Yeah, I do. Also, we're bringing back the tradition, boys. I have to go Magellan real quick, so let me see if I can find anything to entertain, because this Magellan is coming fast. Oh, come on. Load. Alright, let me see. Alright, this is going to be on loop, but it'll be worth it. Let me mute this. Window capture this.
Nanda? カメか。
アザラシじゃねえか。空風呪語。もう死に上がりたかったら俺に勝ってみな。嫌なら向こう岸へ戻んな腰抜け。だってさ。
腰抜けと言われちゃ黙ってられねえね。行くぜ。
あっちで勝ってるやつもいるけど。勝ってもダメ。なんだ。
勝負に負けたらその相手に弟子入りするのがクンフー呪言の掟なの。
武闘派だな。
言ってる間に弟子増えてるわよ。よーし、みんな俺についてこい。構え。違う。こうだ。そう、そこからこうだ。いざこうだ。よーし、湯葉に向かって出発だ。
ちょっと待て、おい。そいつらも連れてきか。
ダメよルフィ。ジュゴンたちに砂漠越えは無理よ。
かわいい。
なんだかものすごくかわいそうなことしてるような気がしてきたわ。私もどうしたらいいかしら。
そうだ。
何やってんのお前。
ほら、これあげるからさ、ここでおとなしくしててよね。
Alright, I'm back. Ugh, I might have to go for round 2, though. Like, I squeezed that out really, really fast. So, yeah, round 2 is definitely coming. Chopper was useful, I know. Yo, did you got any pushbacks for that Berserk video? Yeah, I got some. Kung Fu Dugong, so goofy and cute. I love the Kung Fu Dugongs. Part of this scene is filler, but I love the charm of it. My favorite part is actually just when Vivi and Nami are like, they're too cute. What do we do? I feel like we're being mean to them. That was great. That was great. Also, if I missed any questions, just repost them, boys. Are my political views more left or right leaning? Shit. Uh, I don't know. Like, I don't really think I have a whole lot of I guess they're probably more left, if anything, between the two. Early One Piece Chopper was ugly yet adorable. Early One Piece Chopper was cute. He was still a reindeer, but it was like he was quirky little reindeer. He was the fucking goat. All right, he was so cute, and now he's not cute anymore. Ironically, son of a bitch. Did I see the filler before Dressrosa where the Dugong learn hockey? I did not see that one. Hey Dritz, how's it going career-wise? Any promotions on the horizon? Yes, there is a promotion on the horizon for me. Anika says, you said in your Hokage Island video that Sanji's brothers were like any other villain in One Piece, which is weird because in that same Tea Party death situation, Enru and Boofy would have had different reactions. But the reactions would have been actually maybe slightly the same, but not. The point of what I said there, Anika, is that if you put many other characters in that same situation, they're not going to be like, I mean, even Reiju didn't really care. They're not going to be like, oh no, they're so weird because they're not concerned for their death. Think back to Little Garden, when Zoro was like, he thought he was going to die. And he's like, well, might as well strike a cool pose, right? That's cool. It's like, oh no, Zoro, why don't you care that you're dying? Oh, he's emotionless monster. No, like the point is that like that scene doesn't highlight their lack of emotions because the Vinsmokes have emotions. Oda's just very, very bad at writing. Do I think the Emerald City will be relevant, or was it all just a throwaway line from Oda? Um, I think at this point, Emerald City was just Greenbit. At one point in time, Emerald City may have been an actual plan. The only hope left for it would be if it was like for some reason on Elbaf or something. But it might be a drop plot line. It was never promised. It's just no. It was something said by what's his face? Bellamy. Did I already discuss Nami's Conquers hockey? Missed the beginning? No, I didn't. There's not a whole lot to talk about with there. If Nami gets it, it's undeserved. Um, it also won't be good Conquers hockey. So there's that as well. It's kind of hard to get hyped over it because, like, as I mentioned in the Whole Cake video, Nami's sequence of power-ups have been really, really bad. The climb attack was useless. Zeus is really, really bad. It doesn't feel like Nami's gotten any stronger. It feels like she's getting hard carried. Everything around her is sort of unsatisfying. So the prospect of her getting Conqueror's hockey is like, well, how much more is Nami going to get to suck at the end of the day? Like, she gets all of this just to suck. Great. Sweet. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Although from a logical standpoint, I think it'd make more sense for her to have observation hockey because of the whole, sensing weather. Dritz, do you think Oda actually believes Mihawk is more skilled rather than stronger than Shanks? Is just his usual baiting the fandom, or does he really think that? I mean, it's just saying that Mihawk's the strongest swordsman, which really doesn't mean a whole lot in One Piece. This is Oda intentionally playing the game, though. He threw his hat into the ring, which he had mostly ignored until this point in time. He's fueling the fire. Oda's making a clear distinction here between quote unquote swordsmanship that it exists in One Piece and other things, which was something that he had to do at some point in time. It's just kind of weird that it's taken this route. Zoro isn't a villain. Also, Buggy would be pleading hysterically, and Enaru would have equally hysterical, narcissistic rant. How you couldn't kill him was good. The brothers different. No, they're not. Like, if anything, you're just saying that their personalities are different. Buggy's a coward, so he would cry. Zoro isn't a villain. That doesn't matter. Put Crocodile on the situation. He's not caring. You put half the villains in the situation. Dofi's laughing. Oh, Dofi's laughing. Does that mean he's emotionless? Oh my gosh. Goda. Put Kaido in the situation. Unless he's drunk, is he crying? No. Big Mom? No. Probably going to make threats. Nami? Yeah. Because Nami's a coward. Usopp? Yeah. Usopp's a coward. Sanji? No. He might sweat, but he's not going to, be begging for his life or anything. The point still remains is that Germa are horribly written from the back. That scene does not highlight their emotionless state. Because right after that scene, what happens? What happens? They start showing emotions. Wow, crazy. Miyako went from being excited that he was being challenged to now just wanting to live in peace, huh? Yeah. Sweet. It's been a while since I've been the one that's been hunted. I just want to go away. All right. Sweet. Sebastian, these get deleted and put onto my secondary channel, which is in the description. It's where all the VODs go. Dritz, what's a hobby or skill you have that people wouldn't expect? That I wouldn't expect. Well, I'm a fucking nerd, so it's no surprise that I'm good at card games. That people wouldn't expect. I feel like all the things that I'd be good at would be expected. Like drawing, video games, stuff like that. That's all pretty expected. I'm a nerd. I should read the French manga Dreamland. It's the bomb. The French manga Dreamland, does it have English translations? Lesson says, last stream, I remember you mentioning the Alaka Mariam Kamugi moments were your favorites. Emotional payoffs are what do it for you then, I take it? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna, despite how black pilled I am here, I mean, people who've been here for a long time have seen me like cry over stuff many, many times. But I'm a very emotional person. So the emotion of any story is what gets me to love it. The technicalities of certain things can entertain me, but what truly makes me love a story is how well I can connect to it emotionally. And that can take many forms, but yeah. The Alaka moment, for as flawed as everything with that situation is a moment that still will bring me to tears every single time. It's goated. Just thoughts on Kuma calling Dragon Master because he might be a celestial dragon since Kuma only listens to them now? That's a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised at it, although I'm not sure how Kuma as a robot would inherently know that the blood from someone is like celestial dragon like. Unless it's like data that he somehow has retained, you know. It's like, oh, he's celestial dragon, so I treat him as this. I suppose that can be an answer. Just after what Crocodile said about not trusting anyone, do you think Mihawk was betrayed in the past? Um, it's possible. I mean, that's probably the interpretation that many people are going to go for. But trust doesn't have to be being betrayed, like in that traditional sense. Like if you guys watch my Mihawk video, then I made the argument that like from Mihawk's perspective, he may feel betrayed by Shanks because of Shanks not being able to pursue the path of swordsmanship anymore. And I made the debate that one of the reasons why Mihawk is black-pilled is because Shanks bet on the new generation instead of himself. And stuff like that, which is why he's very bitter towards Shanks, but also still cares about him. How much would I have to pay you to look over my novel? Look over a novel? Jesus, how long is this thing, man? Did Skyrim recommend you the Samurai Shigarui? I've never even heard of it. How old is this? Anika, I'm going to read you back this sentence, and you describe to me how much sense this makes. Is this cope, or is this a legitimate argument that's being backed up by the story? And here's your quote back to you. Exactly. Losing an asset doesn't have tactical value, so that's why Germa would be worried over the fact, which is why they are worried over Reiju being hit. Does that actually make sense to you? Let's think it over, because I think there's a very easy answer to that question. Yo, what's up, Fish? No, I don't read comics. Yeah. Emotional connection, yeah, get on Gintama Dritz. KG, I tried to read Gintama. I literally could not get through 16 chapters. It was just so boring. I hate Gintama's comedy. And I want to get to the emotional parts because I've heard people praise Gintama up and down for being goated and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But I've also heard 1,000 times that if you don't like Gintama's comedy, then you're not going to enjoy the series. And it's really is a struggle to get through 16 chapters of it. I don't like the stereotypical old Japanese sense of humor in manga. And Gintama so far is like the epitome of it. I don't really find it entertaining. Would I connect the betrayal thing to maybe a relationship between Mihawk and Rayleigh? No. Mihawk and Rayleigh. They don't. I mean, it would be neat if they knew of each other, but they don't have to. They don't have to, in my mind. Dritz, how do you feel about every guy in One Piece getting unreasonably buff? I liked my Luffy to be a twink. Well, how do I feel about it? I mean, like, it happens in a lot of stories. Personally, it's like a nitpick for me, where it's I would rather it be done in different ways. I don't like all guys essentially just being super buff people. You know, it's sort of like the same argument for like every single woman in One Piece bar maybe one looks exactly the same. I prefer variety. I prefer there to be different aspects to it. But as long as the story's good, it's kind of sort of something like I'll bring up to make fun of. I'm actually more bothered by the differences in bodies not mattering in combat. So like physical strength is not a stat in One Piece. It's literally irrelevant. It means nothing. Size difference also means nothing in One Piece, and those are more things that I'm kind of like, you had an opportunity to do more here, but it just followed typical shonen stuff, so it didn't do anything with it. Am I going to review Hunter x Hunter chapters when they come out? Review them? I might talk about them in streams like this, but review them as in videos? Probably not. You need a really high IQ to enjoy Gintama? That's probably why. You're right. You're right. Oh, Bow Wow heard Gintama and had to talk. He said, if you don't like the comedy for Gintama, then it's probably not even worth to muscle through it and get to the better moments in the series. But I'll also say that the anime enhances the comedy with the voice acting and the reactions you'll get from the characters during the jokes and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some clips from the anime, but this is one of those scenarios where like, I don't think it's gonna matter much for me, Bao. I don't think the anime will make me have a more fun time with Gintama. And I also would like to read it. If I have the option, I would rather read something than strictly watch it, just so I can put it onto that plane of field where I can like kind of judge things accordingly if I wanted to compare them. That's actually why whenever I started Haikyuu, I actually wasn't really like I wasn't I didn't want to watch the anime. I watched like 15 episodes of the anime. I'm like, I want to read the manga. Like I had enough of the anime. Um, and I enjoyed the manga more. Do I ever listen to music when reading manga? Sometimes, yeah. It kind of depends on my mood. Like, if I'm in the mood to listen to music, then yeah, I'll do it. Like, I'll put on some Dark Souls. I'll put on some, ambient music, maybe some emotional OSTs every now and then. But it's not a prerequisite for me when reading manga. Like, I'll just read just to read. Do I use Dueling Book? Yep. When's the downfall of Togashi coming? There's not enough for me to even write about it. You need a really high IQ to understand why Baki is an artistic masterpiece. Stop this. Stop it. I am never reading Baki. It's just not happening. I'm 10 toes on that. Leston says, are there any standout characters or moments in Haikyuu? Favorite match? What did you think of the last stretch of chapters? Well, these are things that I would cover in a review, so I'm debating whether or not I should answer this here on stream. I'm going to forego this lesson because I think I may make a video on Haikyuu. If I don't, then you can hold me to it, and then I'll answer it later. A little critter of sorts behind me. Oh, no. What's up, Reese? Have I tried Master Duel then? Yeah, I tried Master Duel when it first came out, and I've had this, like, I've played a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh games, because I'm a giant nerd with no life, right? So I've played a lot of the games that have come out on Steam and stuff like that, and they always have the same problem because there's no way to fix this without having a site like Dueling Book be the primary way people play, is that the system continually asking you to activate every card during every phase on any action makes the game almost unplayable to me. So, and also that, but Master Duel's ban list is completely whack. Wait, you don't like Baki? Why? Genuinely interested? I haven't even read Baki, Hamster. I refuse to read Baki out of spite. There is no good reason. I find the art for Baki to be so hideous, so obtrusive, so immersion breaking that I refuse to read it. It's hideous. It is so ugly that I do not want to read it. And I don't care if the story's great. I am standing on this bias. Which is why it's become an ongoing meme of people trying to get me to read Baki. Dritz, I started playing Elden Ring a few weeks ago, and the dual wield power stance is so cool. Yep, power stancing is the best thing in that game. I just took 2 great swords, and I just fucking went to town. It was so much fun. What are my thoughts on Hunter x Hunter art? I think Hunter x Hunter fans I think they try to defend Togashi's art way too much, to a level that it's like you just make it easier to point and make fun of. I don't think Hunter x Hunter's art is crazy or anything. It's it's very inconsistent. There are certain aspects that I think are really, really good. Like, one of my favorite things that Togashi does is the crazy Hisoka faces. That's something that hasn't been replicated in the anime so far. And for me, that's like a crucial part of like how raw the moments are with Hisoka, when Togashi draws those completely dark as fuck faces that Hisoka does. Very, very good. Like, it's got really good highs, but consistency is where Hunter x Hunter always struggles with. The art in Baki is worse than Hunter x Hunter. It's not about it being worse. It's about it being ugly as shit. It may be at a technical level, like it's like, oh, it's whoever the Baki's artist is, that's his style. Cool. I don't care. Like, that shit's ugly. Like, I don't want my eyes to bleed when I'm reading. I would rather have stick figures than Baki's art. Dritz, please explain to us why Long Ring Longland is better than Wano. It's better than Wano because it doesn't fuck up anything important. As simple as that. I don't even know if it's 15 chapters. It might be 12 chapters. It's 12 chapters of essentially filler that has a good ending because Aokiji's there. That's it. It's also got a Zoro speech to Chopper, which ironically nothing like this is even in the entirety of Wano. So there's actually better crew stuff going on in Long Ring Longland than there is in Wano. Amazing. And it's a joke arc. that isn't ruining the story. That's why it's better. Dual wielding katanas. These Dex users, they're dangerous. It's really development of the story I want help with. I don't need a proofreader. Okay, so if you want to run by like conceptual ideas, superb, throw them my way. But if I have to read the entire thing, then I'm probably not doing that for a long time. Yeah, but Hamster, here's the thing. I'm acknowledging this is all hateful bias. I'm doing it on principle and not out of assumptions for how good the quality of the story is, although a story like Baki doesn't seem like it would be that good. But it could be. I just want to, like, I want to enjoy what I'm looking at. And I don't think Baki's hideous character arc style is anything I could ever get used to. That shit is ass, in my opinion. Like, that style, no. Like, I don't want my characters to look like grotesque, veiny monsters. Like, I can look at my dick if I want that. Let's see. I get more credence to the Shanks Davy Back fight theory than I do Evil Shanks. Oh yeah, Shanks Davy Back is more credible than Evil Shanks. You mean you understand because you had the same experience? Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to say like because you're not giving it a chance, you know, you're ignoring. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I had the same thing with One Piece where like I thought the art style was kind of weird as a kid when I was watching it on 4Kids, but then when I got into it, it didn't matter to me. If anything, I like it now. But the characters never really looked hideous to me in terms of like art style. It's just they're like, you know, one of my first experiences with One Piece is seeing the Nyanbron brothers. So like, you can understand, you know, it's like, oh my god, is this the story? And it's a bad representation, but I have seen enough characters in Baki to know that all of them are monsters. So that makes me not want to not want to see it. You can use all the adjectives and verbs you want, Andre. Those veiny monsters are staying in the gutter. Oda does have a lot of whack character designs. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But at least he has a fair amount of good character designs. So it's not like they're all, it's like an overabundance. There's a lot of good. Fair enough. uh, I'm sorry, Andre. Listen, I can all I can do is I can read Vagabond for you. Have I read Hajime no Ippo? No, but it's on my to read list. That is actually one series that I think I'm probably going to like because Alongside that and Real, it seems like it may be the only thing that is in sports series that I actually care about, which has been my biggest issue in like actually in being invested into a sports series, is the lack of emotion. Which I don't dislike sports series, but that's usually been the number one reason why they don't rank high for me in terms of like a manga or like stuff I'd recommend, is that I have a really hard time connecting emotionally to most sports stories because they're not meant to be emotional. But Ippo is different. Ippo is different. Just thoughts on that anime snob? I have never heard of this person, so no thoughts on them. Read Chainsaw Man? Yeah, I will. I promised Morge I would, so I will read it. Have I read Ashita no Joe and Bro Slam Dunk? What lack of emotion? No, I've never read Ashita no Joe. Slam Dunk I don't think I'm going to care about, but I do plan to read it at some point in time. I mean, my sports manga have been sort of, so it's been Haikyuu, Kuroko, reading wise, not anime. Haikyuu, Kuroko, Baby Steps, Prince of Tennis. Have I read more sports manga? Let's see. I've read Suzuka and watched Suzuka. I think I read the first 5 chapters of Windbreaker, but I got sidetracked. I forget a lot about it. Haven't read Diamond No Ace. And that's it so far. You're a Mihawk fan, but not a Zoro fan? I was a Zoro fan when he was a good character. Slam Dunk especially. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people praise Slam Dunk, although I just have this nagging suspicion that I'm probably like I think it's just my impression going into it is I think it will end up being okay for me, but I'm not going to be like, oh my god, Slam Dunk Goater, you know, which is fine. I will still read sports series and stuff like that, but that's the reason why the ones that I've read so far don't rank high for me, is that I was never able to like invest myself emotionally into the story. I just enjoyed it at like a base level. Which isn't slander, that's just my preference and stuff. The things about those sports anime that I've read didn't connect well to me. Yeah, I know Real is by Inoue, which is why I'm looking forward to reading it, because I know it's a lot of it's character oriented, so it seems like it's more up my alley. When am I planning on starting Chainsaw Man? Not for a while. Like, I'm not going to start it until I basically do everything that I want to do before that. So it's going to be a bit. Did Haikyuu do that for you, like emotionally? No. I was never emotionally invested in Haikyuu. Which is what separates me from a lot of like my close friends that are into Haikyuu, because they're in it emotionally. But I have I have issues with Haikyuu, but I don't rank Haikyuu very highly. It's a fun manga. I just can't connect to it. Favorite Nami design and outfit? What design? Oh, pre-time skip easily. I don't think it's a debate. Pre-time skip Nami folds post-time skip Nami. They're not even close. Favorite outfit? Favorite outfit. Probably. I want to say Arlong Park is probably my favorite. Not even at the end of Tokyo Nationals? No. No emotion. Did I get emotional from Anchor? Yeah, dude. The first chapter got me bussing. First manga I'll check after finishing Downfall. Well, I'm going to reread mangas that I've already read to make a video. So I'm going to reread Monster, and I may reread Haikyuu if I want to make that Haikyuu video. But the first new manga that I'll probably read is... I'm going to debate between Vinland Saga, Vagabond, and Attack on Titan. Those are the ones I'll probably have to decide between. Did the time jump do it for you in Haikyuu? So the time jump is weird. That is probably the most interested I ever was in Haikyuu, but from a writing perspective, I think it's easily the most flawed, which is kind of like a weird contradiction. But I understand why I like it more. So what did you not like about Monster? You will have to find out. You will have to find out. Many people here already know, but you will have to find out. I have a very controversial Monster take, which I'm very adamant about. You're the first one in the community that has something to criticize about it. Yeah, I know. I know Monster is universally critically acclaimed series, but nope. Nope. That's why I'm interested in doing the Monster videos. I kind of want to explain my perspective on it. Need that monster pack? Yeah, me, you, and Sen, man. We need that monster pack. You'll have to find out, Bayo. You'll have to find out. Shut up, monster pack. What positive video are you putting out before the monster video? I recommend a season 1 of Ippo review. What positive video am I going to put out? Well, the intention was to put out just like some Berserk videos of talking about shit that I've kind of always wanted to talk about and explain why I liked them so much, which is like the Chich video I was referring to. I would like to put out the Chich video if I can. Any hopes for the final arc of One Piece? Nope. No hope. Only pain. LeBron or Jordan, Dritz? Comparing them has always been kind of weird to me because of the era differences and what actually separates them as players. I like LeBron more. If I had to choose a GOAT, hmm, I may lean Jordan. I want to write a Mao review where I give Berserk an 8. Oh, only an 8? You hated it? Do you love the Dune series by Frank? My boy Frank. Yeah, I've heard Dune's very good. Yo, Dritz, just made it, but quick summary thoughts on the chapter. Quick summary, JK, is I'm indifferent. And that's really, I didn't really care for the chapter. I didn't dislike it or anything. There's one aspect of it I thought was actually bad, which is the dragon stuff, but overall, it's, I was indifferent about it. What sports do I watch? Well, I'll watch the playoffs for football. I'll watch the playoffs for the NBA. And by football, I mean NFL. I'll watch the playoffs for the NBA. I'll occasionally watch some tennis whenever players that I like are playing, Nadal or the Australian powerhouse. Just thoughts on Mihawk versus Shanks. So, if I had it my way, if it was my story, they would be equal to each other, or Mihawk would be slightly stronger to illustrate the difference between those characters and what they mean to each other. Who is stronger, the goofy elite warriors of Elbaf, Emu's Knights, Eye Patch Dude, or the Fire Scar Dude? Wow. Well, obviously the Giants are doo-doo, so it's got to be Emu's Knights. Who is better, Messi or Ronaldo? Well, Ronaldo's hotter, right? So, got to go Ronaldo. A battle of the silhouettes. Yeah, Alibaba. I upload these streams on my backup channel, which is in the link in the description. Will I read Blame by Blame? I feel like I've heard of that before. Blame by... Oh, I do remember this. Is this the guy that does Gantz? This art looks very similar to it. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll give anything a try. You playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison Edition? Ooh, Edison Yu-Gi-Oh! I would like to play it, but the kind of issue that I'm at right now is that it's easier for me to play a modern format because I can go to more tournaments with it. A lot of my IRL friends that I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With now live in a different state, and stuff, so it's kind of harder for me to like go play Edison. And I'm not sure how many tournaments are actually near me with Edison in mind. But I would not mind playing Edison. I think that's a cooler format for Yu-Gi-Oh. Who's my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character from the anime? My favorite. Um, hmm. So my favorite is probably Maximilian Pegasus. He's just so camp. Yugi boy. Me and my brother both loved Pegasus. But if I were to be serious, like what character that I enjoy the most, it probably would be Pegasus. But I think the best character I did like Yusei Fudo. He was cool. Banning it, banning it, banning it. We need GOAT player clout. Actually, if there's a format I could go back and play consistently, it's not the GOAT format for Yu-Gi-Oh, but it would be September 2011 format, which, in my opinion, is the most diverse format of Yu-Gi-Oh ever because there were so many decks that were amazing and the game was so fucking balanced. I wish I could freeze time and that would be the official Yu-Gi-Oh format that would never change. But that's just not how shit works. But, oh man. Those are the days, bro. Peak Yu-Gi-Oh! Elden Ring and Yu-Gi-Oh! Overrage try out Morrowind and Duel Masters instead. Jesus Christ. When Kaiba threatened to kill himself against Yugi, that was peak bitchery. Kaiba or Yugi? Shit. I like Dark Magician. Oh, I don't know. I actually did like the card art for Blue Eyes more than Dark Magician. Yugi was more raw though, but Kaiba did have Obelisk first, and Obelisk is easily the best Egyptian god. Could I mention decks of that format? Yeah, Tengu Plants is one of them. Chaos Piper, Monarchs. I'm not sure if Gear Gia was at that point. I think Gear Gia was later. Let me go ahead and look up actually. I can go to the site tcgrewind.com. The format. Yeah, so we had Agents, Black Wings, Chaos, Dark World, X-Sabers, Dragoonity, Diva Heroes, Hero Stun, Gravekeepers, Glad Beasts were playable. Infernity was good, Lightsworn was good, Lancer Frogs were good, Machina Gadgets, Nordics were playable, Salvo Chaos, TGs, Six Samurai, TG Agents, Vayu Turbo, TG Stun, Windups, Worms. Fucking peak. Where do you buy your cards? I want to make a deck, but don't know where to start. The best place to buy cards is tcgplayer.com. There you can order individual cards from a variety of sellers. Do I think Carrot is coming with the timing for the Moon Festival in Japan with Chapter 1059, or are they just coping? It's possible. I mean, it could go either way. I don't think Carrot joining has more backup than it does, people saying it's definitely not happening. But, it's if it happens, it's happening in the next chapter or two. Do a showcase of your deck. I'd love to see it. Well, I do have my deck near me, but where the fuck is... I don't even know if my camera could even capture the quality of my deck. I do have my deck right here. Still tinkering with it. Which archetype do you want to get buffed? I want more alien support. Geez, for a deck to get buffed, it would have to get majorly buffed in order to compete in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't last more than 2 turns. I would probably choose things that I personally love. So, the decks I love the most when playing in my prime for Yu-Gi-Oh! Was Monarchs, X-Sabers, and Chaos. So I would want one of those archetypes to be buffed, or Mermails. That's a deck I never got to play in the old days, but I'm currently playing now. And I would like for it to get buffed so it's more competitive. Just the time to talk about my girl Nami. What do you want to talk about, Neglected? Show us? Jeez. God damn. I have to put on pants. You were going hard on her? I was. What do you want to talk about? I'm probably going to be shooting for another 10 minutes, so let's try and keep it Let's get this nailed out before we finish the stream. Also, the one Straw Hat, I technically have a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. I just haven't uploaded there yet. It's called Dritz Yu-Gi-Oh. I was actually hoping to upgrade my phone so that it actually has a good camera so I could actually record deck profiles on it and secretly upload it. Did I read this chapter? Yep. Yo, Cross. Savage. Jeez, look at all these ultis, baby. All right, come on, Neglected. You're taking too long. Let's go. Type it up. Cookie. Baby. Ooh. Shit. I'm subscribing. Can't find it. Maybe it's because can you not find it because I haven't uploaded yet? Let me see if I can type it in. Search instead for Dritz-Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe it doesn't show up because I haven't uploaded yet. That might be why. You gotta admit, Nami got her shine this chapter. Shine? What do you mean? What, the bounty? The Mickey bounty she doesn't deserve? What's up, Dritz? No more Mihawk slander, Weehawk baby. Oh, there's Mihawk slander. For sure. This chapter, that's the thing, I disagree with people. This chapter did nothing to really quell what the origin of Mihawk slander really is. It's all there. I think what you said about Nami holding back in her fights is kind of unfair. It's not about Nami holding back. It's about Oda holding Nami back. Because Nami sucks the way Oda uses her. She should be a lot better. When Perona would come back? Perona will probably make more of an appearance whenever Oda decides to do stuff with Blackbeard on screen. It's only natural. Because then Mori will show up again, and that will give reason for Perona to show up. And, you know, whatever, Blackbeard goes after Shanks and, you know, stuff like that. It's easy to tie that in. Although Perona's probably going to tie more in with Zoro than Mihawk. I would wager a guess. Nami putting Luffy accountable was great to see. What? Bro, that was like all a gag. That was like all like just a meme, like, oh my god, Nami's mad again. She hit Luffy. Oh, Luffy, don't do stupid things. Nami's gonna beat you up. It's like, yeah, it's just more of the same. I don't think it was a great moment or anything. Is that what we're basing this off of? Why did the spoiler provider make it seem like a mystery as to why Luffy was beaten and caged? Because Ridon's a bitch. That's why. Jinbei's reaction was fun, but yes, standard gag. Yeah, like, I'm not making fun of it. It's just, you know, I don't consider that great much. It's just same old, same old. Just I think there's a difference between being reliable and being strong. Yeah, there is, depending on what you're talking about, but that's not really the basis of everything. It's just the fact that Nami... I already made my case. Nami doesn't get to do anything. Characters that don't get to do anything and are constantly trivialized and never given moments. It's not a good time to be in. It's crazy looking back on Nami because it wasn't considered absolutely groundbreaking or amazing what she did in the pre-time skip, but compared to the post-time skip, everything that Nami did was leagues better. Which makes it look like peak fiction by comparison. So no deck showcase today? No deck showcase today, Straw Hat. Don't worry, I'll let you know whenever I start uploading content. Nami's a reliable fighter and they're strong. I don't even think she's reliable. How is she reliable? What does she consistently do? Run away? Get saved? Throw out some water? What does she do? Doesn't matter that her primary role is not fighting. Her primary role doesn't matter. Being a navigator is completely irrelevant in the One Piece world. You gotta get something somewhere. She's not a good character. And she doesn't get good fights. So where's the balance? What's up, Trent? Dritz, Opa, did you intentionally not answer Mihawk versus Shanks questions earlier in the stream? When all the hands were here? Which questions? Which questions, Glam? Can I make videos on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, please? Videos on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. There are probably a bunch of players that already... I mean, those videos are already out. I can make a Yu-Gi-Oh videos on a Yu-Gi-Oh channel, but describing how to play from step one is probably best left to people who've already done it. Is there a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh you're tired of seeing? Yeah, I mean, usually whatever the best deck is, I get tired of seeing. As of right now, Splight and Tearlament is like, oh my gosh. I'm more tired of Tearlament than I am Splight, even though I've beat more Tearlaments than I have Splight. But I do not like the mechanics around Tearlament. She stopped Big Mom during the Rebel Army with her Thunder Trap while Luffy was in danger. During the Rebel Army. She stopped Big Mom during the Rebel Army. Big Mom wasn't at the Enraged Army. And also, Nami's Thunderbolt was off-screened during the Enraged Army. Nami looked fine during that portion because she was fighting with her captain, but in terms of feats, that was actually off-screened. It was all implied to have happened. We see the lightning bolt in a different panel with Sanji, but we don't actually get to see it in the battlefield. No, it is not my birthday. How do I feel about Jinbei being at the helm after going into chapters without needing a dedicated one? It's whatever. Like, I understand Oda's just trying to, like, give each character a theoretical place on the crew. But, I don't really care. Like, if I had it my way, I would just make Nami the helmsman. Because she's the navigator too. I'd, might as well do both. But, they're technically not the same position on a pirate crew. So it's fine. Jinbei being at the helm doesn't really make much of a difference, and it's not like it's a skill we knew he had, because the actual position on a crew doesn't really matter in One Piece. It's just kind of there for fun and romance and stuff like that. The idea of it existing, it's there so people can write fan fictions about it and stuff like that. It's not incredibly important to the story, and that's completely fine. Outside of Nami, Nami's the only one that actually matters. Oh, you're talking about when when the shots were running in the Seducing Woods, where she was too slow to run by herself, so Sanji had to grab her, and also when Luffy had to, or actually Sanji might have done that too when Sanji had to save her from jumping off a King Bomb because she was too slow to avoid Big Mom. Yeah, cool. She threw down a lightning bolt that did nothing. Sweet, dude. I get it. For me, the major highlight of that moment is that Zeus sucks. More so than she threw a lightning bolt at Big Mom and that. That's fine. Like, I'm not gonna ridicule that. I'll ridicule Zeus because the way Nami got Zeus was stupid. But as far as like her, like that scene didn't really accomplish anything, you know? It's like, oh my god, Zeus could do something. So for me, that scene set up the possibilities of like, if Nami actually used Zeus in a legitimate way, it would be capable of, you know, great power, which as we see is not the case because Nami doesn't really get to use Zeus in any cool, satisfying way. So like even comparing that with like stuff that Nami's done neglected, it's still actually below the bar. And it's kind of like saying like, you know, rather than the Khalifa fight being a highlight moment for Nami in Enies Lobby, her standout moment was whenever she met up with Robin on the bridge and was just fighting some fodder. It's like, yeah, you know, she did that, but you know, that's kind of just more for Oda to stall time because Nami's job was already complete. It's a lot different than the Khalifa fight, which I don't think the Khalifa fight's that great personally, but it's fine. It at least showed more, you know, tact and intelligence in the way that Nami was doing things because she had to overcome Khalifa using the Climatact in an intelligent way. So it's got my praise for that. But you know, that's still like at this point like multiple magnitudes better than anything Nami's done post time skip. Did I hear the Tolados coping of Yamato joining the crew during the final war? They can keep coping. They can keep coping. She will show up in the final war because everyone's going to show up in the final war. Miss Double Finger fight was the truth. Yeah, I think Miss Double Finger fight is easily the best fight for me because one, Nami also had to do the same thing where she had to use her intelligence and had to figure out the Climatact. But like I showed in the Nami portion of the Whole Cake Island video, the best part of that fight is the fact that there's actually some emotion to it because of Nami's attachment to Vivi. That's what made it good. And similar to, this is also similar to the Khalifa fight, which also never happens anymore. But Nami actually got hurt. You know, she had to intentionally step in the way of a spike in order to win, which damaged her foot. And she got Shiganed by Khalifa, which isn't as good, but it's still the same. It's a bit funny because in the Khalifa fight, Nami is like, you know, she says something about being a strong woman who's not gonna run away. And yeah. That's what I'm saying, Driss. She is still reliable, gave everyone a chance to escape. Yeah, but it didn't really matter, though. Like Glam said, it's, you know, Nami hitting Big Mom and doing 0 damage is her best combat moment. The bar is an absolute hell is what Glam says. I agree with that. It's like, yeah, technically she did that. Do I think it's a really cool standout moment? No, not really. Like, it could have been fine if Zeus was an ass, right? Like all those moments with Nami and Zeus and Whole Cake Island, they could have been redeemed if like the Zeus stuff wasn't dick, you know? It's like that could have been. It's like the argument I made for Carrot, where it's like Carrot, when you look at Carrot's Sulong form in Whole Cake Island, is extremely underwhelming because all she does is steal some wood off some ships. It's like, oh well, technically she stopped the fleet from advancing, but it's like, yeah, you show me the Super Saiyan form, and then she takes off some steering wheels, but the bright side to that was like, okay, this is just a teaser for what Carrot could possibly do. She's a newbie to Sulong, so we're going to get something that's a lot more cooler. And then Carrot ends up doing nothing. And the same the same thing happens with Nami, where it's like Nami gets a very Mickey Mouse power up in the lamest way possible during Whole Cake, and it doesn't really do anything. You know, it's fine. She throws a lightning bolt down. You go, oh wow, Nami can throw lightning bolts. That's potential. That could be cool. And then, you know, where does that lead to? Zeus kind of sucks. Nami kind of sucks. So there's no redeeming quality for it to me. All it is like when you look back on it, it's just lame. Which is the big issue, right? It doesn't amount to anything. Nami has arguably one of the worst fights of all time in Wano. My issue I have with you, Dritz, is you're very meticulous on the writing of a character situation. Well, I think the way I laid it out is actually it's not really the case. I think it's actually just the bare minimum. Like I wasn't even asking for a whole lot. Like I don't know. Like it put Zoro, Sanji, or other characters, like just show the characters respect. Like it's very neglectful. No, I said the fan service character in Punk Hazard hurt Sanji's character. It sucks for Nami because she's the victim of fan service, which is a compiling issue. It's not just a one-time thing, right? Oda having Sanji literally sexually harass Nami for a gag it's actually a negative to Sanji's character, but it's also annoying for Nami, who has to be the character that has to put up with that shit. It's not a good thing. Right? Everything forms a story. So when I talk about Nami in totality, I take in everything that's happened, which is, you know, she has one singular moment in Fishman Island, which is her forgiving Jinbei, which Sanji tried to ruin that moment. And then she does nothing in Fishman Island when she was hyped up to be a character that mattered the most out of the Straw Hats other than Luffy, and that goes nowhere. Her relationship with Shirahoshi is off screen and she becomes friends with her. And it's like, okay, well, that could have gone somewhere actually meaningful. And like, okay, whatever, big miss. And then in Fishman Island, Nami gets ridiculed by the Minister of the Left for not knowing basic seafaring technology, basic seafaring rules. She didn't know how the compasses or how to sail in the New World, despite studying for 2 years specifically to sail in the New World. Like, learning things is a part of the process of developing, but this is like the bare minimum. Like, kid, you know, none of the other people have issues with that. It's like, why did Oda single out Nami to make her seem stupid, and then have like navigating not matter because all we do is follow Viva cards from that point on. And then in Punk Hazard, like, Nami gets essentially nothing good. She gets fan serviced for 25 chapters, at her own expense. She almost gets killed by Monet. Oda puts in a scene where it's like, oh, maybe Nami might have been effective against Monet because of her Climattact ability. No, that doesn't matter. The kid plotline goes nowhere. Nami does nothing but chaperone. So there's no, like, cathartic payoff for that. Tashigi's ass, so, like, the connection between Tashigi and Nami is meaningless because it's not paid off in the writing. And it's like, okay, that's 2 arcs in a row where Nami's kind of getting the bad end of the stick despite having so much screen time. And then we get into Dressrosa, and what happens? Like, I've said this 100 times. Nami gets hyped up by Frankie as, you know, being different than she was before. She can handle herself. And then her and the entire crew get memed by that dumb bitch Giola. And then Brooke defeats her through a meme. And Nami proves nothing except losing her boobies because she was painted differently. It's like, I mean, and I can keep going down the examples. It's like, shit's bad, dude. At some point in time, if you want to make up for like poor taste and stuff like that, with like the stuff in Punk Hazard, like you gotta provide substance. You have to have the character do something so that the only thing that I can think about is how much missed opportunity or bad things there are in the story for this character. So Nami is not only a good character, but she's like a joke fighter and is constantly used for fan service and over sexualized. It's like, well, where am I winning with this character? Where was the character that was there before? And that's the entire point. Is that, you know, for characters to redeem themselves, the author has to give them stuff that's praiseworthy. And if the only thing that happens is nothing praiseworthy in a couple just throwaway dialogue lines that don't really translate to anything, then how is the character good? There are probably written characters and stories that I actually like. Yeah, there are likable characters, but you know, for me, it's like if a character's neglected more, I would rather have a character be neglected than constantly be on screen and just getting pooped on. Do I think Mihawk will have any relevance beside being Zoro's dream? There'll be little things here and there, like with whatever with Shanks and whatever Mihawk's backstory is, because he'll probably have one. Well, it's not a matter of it being that deep. It's about having standards neglected. Like when bad things happen or when nothing happens, if you truly enjoyed that character and what they were before, and that's not what happened, then you know there's got to be a line drawn in the sand somewhere. Like I don't agree with the stance of just like, oh well, just take what you can get. Where it's like, well, if I'm getting nothing, like no, like the characters promise to be more important, so that's where the irritation comes in. Yeah, well, the thing is, it's like, yeah, Nami can be a fighter when she needs to, but this is a shonen manga. She needs to fight at some point, and if she's not fighting, give her good character moments, and she doesn't have many of those. She has more damning moments than she has like good moments. Like what Nami gets, like this is literally like, and this is kind of my issue with like the One Piece, with One Piece and how people judge how good a character is that all it does, all Oda, and this is not what I'm saying about Uniglect, this is kind of more like a community commentary, but all Oda has to do is throw in one line of like, Luffy will be the Pirate King, and it's like that completely redeems the character. Oh, what a great moment. It's like, no. Like, oh, believe in Luffy. Like, no, this is like the bar is so low. You know, a good character is more than just one-liners. You know, this isn't Marvel. Now they'll show up again, Gunter. The Big Mom Pirates will show up again in some way, shape, or form before the end of it. Mark my words. The Big Mom Pirates, yeah. It just the fucking Big Mom Pirates, bro. Yeah, see you, Straw Hat, bro. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. People don't value the execution in the build-up or understand. Yeah, I mean, you're completely right, King. How often do I talk about like the execution of something? It's I don't know. It's that's where standards come into play. Have I used Ishtar and Smite yet? She's pretty good. Now I've been playing ranked, so I haven't played casuals yet. I might play her tonight when I play some Smite because I'm definitely playing Smite tonight. Yo, I took a bite of Hito model Sun God Nika. Ain't that the truth? Just only plays casuals with frauds like me. I play casuals with myself, Lamb. You saw I play that long ass game mode. You know, the one that was putting was giving you back shots. I play that a lot too. But I have no one to play ranked with, so I have to play by myself. Just isn't it weird how Oda's recreating Usopp's moments for other strats post time skip? Like Luffy will be the Pirate King moment for Nami, Water 7 for Sanji, and Hogan. Yeah, I mean I don't know if it's so much as like Usopp targeted or it's just you guys have probably heard how Oda's like the theory of Oda's just recreating the post time skip, but in the post time skip in the New World, right? For teams. It's been one chapter and everyone has already forgotten about Wano. It's I mean, in a way, but something I've noticed that One Piece fans love to do is they just love to kick the can down the road. So that's what's going to happen. When is the downfall of One Piece Wano edition coming out? Not for a bit. Not for a bit. I got a lot of work to do. I think the more characters you add to a story, the harder it is to give praise for everyone. Maybe focusing on new things such as Rio or seeing the future can distract, forget the importance of the crew. Well, it's I mean it's as you say, it's not rocket science. The more characters you add into a story, the more divided the attention is going to be, unless you don't give equal attention to certain characters. Yo, what's up, Sen? Yo, Sen, I gave a speech at the beginning of the stream. If you go back to it, you can just I go on for like 2 or 3 minutes talking about it. Nami holding this Lucy Woods hostage with the Big One's Review card was a dope moment. Dope. Dope, really. I mean, it was whatever. Dritz, do you agree that Mihawk has all forms of hockey and people seem to be ignorant? Oh, man, yeah, he obviously has all forms of hockey. Obviously. Now that Zoro's got Conqueror's hockey, yeah, Mihawk definitely has Conqueror's hockey. Yo, what's up, Michael? We value different things. Well, what the thing is here is like neglected. Like I understand. Like for that moment, like it's whatever. Like I don't think Nami like memeing around with the trees is like a dope moment. Like where I'm getting hyped. It's a quirky moment. It's fine in isolation, right? The point I'm getting at is that all Nami ever was to you? Like for these singular quirky moments, did the character never represent anything else? How do I feel about Caesar joining Jobbing Cat? Listen, if they literally escape Katakuri just because Caesar used like an ink spray on Katakuri, then Jesus Christ. Thoughts on swordsmanship skill mostly tied to hockey alone? Well, I mean that's kind of always been the case. Yeah, swordsmanship in One Piece doesn't really exist, guys. Like people don't get better from a technical standpoint in terms of swordplay, right? They don't like the new techniques they learn rather than like new sword techniques. They just learn better hockey, use the same technique. That's just the way it is. What's my top five right now? Top five what? Driz, is hockey the worst thing Oda did to One Piece? No. I mean, it's certainly up there because hockey's pretty broken. But like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, guys, right? Is it the worst thing? Absolutely not. Because what matters most to the story, like the power scaling dynamic necessarily, like Oda fucking up hockey, or is that's all part of storytelling, but it's the characters that kind of matter the most. And hockey's a part of characters becoming worse. But if there was an imbalance in the hockey system, but the story was delivering on a lot of its beats, it would still be a point of criticism for One Piece, but it's not the thing that matters the most, at least in my eyes. Characters will always be the most important thing in the story to me. Like as a philosophy, I will never agree with anyone who doesn't think the same thing. It was an example of Nami's charisma. That's why I gave that example. Is that an example? I mean, charisma in a sense, but I mean, okay. I feel like I'm having internet issues. Fine, I'll put on the Dark Souls shit again. Hold on, let me see. Firelink Shrine, the goaded. Top 5 strongest characters or just top 5 favorite characters, Kangaroo? I used to get excited because Mihawk spoke about using a sword with grace. Thought that might be something Zoro could explore, but it's all hockey. Yeah. Why don't I do chapter reviews? Well, I'm kind of like not into One Piece in the sense where like I want to review it on a chapter by chapter basis. Like that's not really what I want to do with the channel anymore. Like I don't want to make this a like in the future an only One Piece channel. So like I don't want to do chapter reviews. I'd rather focus on bigger projects than do each individual chapter. What is Edison format for Yu-Gi-Oh? Just everything up to synchros? I'd have to look at the strict definition, but it's basically under a specific ban list. What year is Edison 2? I have no fucking idea. What is Edison 2010 Yu-Gi-Oh? It might be 2010 Yu-Gi-Oh. Do I think Lucci and Enel will get similar treatment to Croc? Well, Lucci hasn't gotten that treatment yet, so I don't think we'll get the same treatment as Croc because CP0 kind of sucks ass. Enel? I think he'll get similar to Croc, but not on Croc's level. What's the next big project for the channel, or can you not say? Well, obviously I'm going to finish the Downfall stuff, and then I'm going to move on to, you know, like Monster and stuff like that. Other series to review and talk about. Favorite characters introduced in Chimera Ant besides Kabuki and Meruem? Hold on, let me pull up a sheet of the characters so I can remember. Hunter x Hunter. Chimera Ant characters. Let me see. You shot my boy Gyro. Motherfucking Gyro. One of my favorites is probably, shit. What was that guy I wanted to see more of in the story? Because I thought that he got hoed on screen time. What was his name? Oh, fuck. I'll find him. I'll find him. Oh, Shidor. That was baby girl's name. That dude's sister that got turned into an ant. I like her a lot. And what's her big brother's name? Fuck. He's someone that I wanted to see more of in the arc, and it made no sense that we didn't get to see him. Fuck. Oh, why is he not showing up on the character list? Yeah, what the hell? Oh, come on, dude. Colt. That's what it was. Thank you, Virgil. Colt. I liked Colt. I wanted to see more of him. I don't know why. Needed to see more of him. Do I think the Strats are ever going to the moon? No, I don't think so. It's not necessary. I just want to play Black Wings again. Pendulum and Link ruined it for me. Synchro was my favorite generation, but XYZ wasn't too bad. Similar play. My favorite generation is the combination of both. I think Synchros and XYZs were fucking perfect mechanics as the upper limit of the game. Pendulum and Link did ruin it for me as well because the pace of the game and what the game kind of turned into is undoubtedly worse. Whenever the games don't last more than 2 turns on average, then something's wrong with the balancing of the game. That's horribly, horribly wrong. What about the Royal Guards? The Royal Guards are alright. Like, Yuppie was my favorite until Akainu got hoed. I was not happy at all with how Yuppie was handled at the end. Felt like I cared for nothing. Poor boy. Pito was whatever. I was actually kind of disappointed with Pito. Fruitcake was fine, though. Fruitcake was fine. I'm not a big fan of Fruitcake, but he was all right. What would I do with hockey to make it more interesting power system? The thing is, I don't think hockey didn't really need to be super in-depth. Like, a good power system isn't necessarily an in-depth one. Oda just kind of fucked himself with what he did at Marineford, and then he kind of took things in a weird direction, and he wrote hockey very, very weird. The way he handled things was very improper. I don't think it needed to be... Like, it could be the same as it was now, but if it was just written properly, it'd be fine. What disappointed you with Pito? I never, like, the characters, whatever. Like, I actually really wanted to see the kite scene. I would have loved to have seen him get folded by Pito, instead of off-screening his abilities, and Kite won't matter for another 500 chapters. If ever. If Togashi gets there. And, no, very commonly known, I am not a big fan of Gon's rage scene. So him doing that to Pito is like whatever to me. So Pito was fine, just not a fan of Pito. Like, Pito isn't like a negative to the arc, but it's just kind of just more like, eh. Would I have liked more? Yeah. My only person that sees Advanced Conquers Hockey as uncreative and just Advanced Armament 2.0. Oh. I mean, like, to a certain degree, you're right, but, like, conceptually, and I'll ask this question, because no one ever gave a response as to what Advanced Conquerors could be, because there was no obvious implementation for how it could be useful in combat. So I'm not mad at what Conquerors turned out into being, but I'm not like wowed by it either. You know, it's like, well, okay. Like, I didn't really feel like Advanced Conquerors, when used by Luffy or Kaido, felt like the difference maker in terms of offense or defense. Can you elaborate why you didn't like the Gon rage scene? Yeah, I can elaborate on it. I've talked about this before. It kind of boils down to like two simple things. I don't really like Gon as a character. I never did. I never disliked him, but I never cared about Gon. And I wasn't really moved by his entire situation with Kite. Nor was I ever moved at any point in time during Hunter x Hunter's entire history with Gon's mission of finding Jing. I feel like that's one of the things that if I were in charge, I would have 100% changed so that I actually cared about the journey. Because I didn't. I care about Gon because I like Killua. And Killua likes Gon. So that's why, to a certain degree, I care about Gon. Because it affects another character that I'm interested in. But Gon, the character himself, is just the scene. I didn't really care about it. It was whatever. There's also the writing aspect to it, where I think that Gon's rage scene is 100% an ass pull because it kind of breaks the power scope of the series. But that's not my biggest issue with it per se. It's just a writing issue. Because if the thing is that like Gon sacrifices potential to become like God, right? And it's like, okay, cool. Only people that have Gon's potential could be that strong. The issue is that in a life or death situation, every single person should be capable of doing that, and they don't, because there's no limit to it. You just make a stupid contract, and then you can get a boost of power from something, whatever the fuck, the Nen of the universe will give you a boost by sacrificing your potential, and it's not good writing, in my opinion. If Advanced Conquest allows you to use a stronger version of the technique you have in KOA, it would be better, to be honest. Yeah, that'd be true. Every time I see these big One Piece YouTubers' thumbnail art, it makes me lose hope in humanity. Did I like the whole Marine Hunter thing? No. Actually, that's something I probably should have mentioned. I do not like the Marine Hunter epithet. For me, it's not a matter of like, oh, it makes sense for Mihawk to have hunted Marines out of boredom. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, I don't like it because it's just corny. It's like, oh wow, Pirate Hunter, Marine Hunter, wow, Zoro, Mihawk. It's like, yeah, dude, you didn't have to go that far with the cringe title. You could have given him a cool title. We got Dark King Rayleigh and shit like that. We got all of these cool epithets, and Mihawk gets Marine Hunter. In the past, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit too on the nose for me. Like, I like a bit more subtlety, a bit more creativity. You don't need to parallel these characters that already have stuff in common with each other. It's like in Berserk, if like Guts is known as the Black Swordsman, and then it's like, I'm known as the White Swordsman. It's like, ugh, dude, come on. I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter in a while, but isn't there a limitation based on the contract? Well, the limitation was based on your potential. Gon gave up his potential to form the contract. But that means that anyone can do that. Like, there's nothing stopping any character in life in that situation from creating a contract and giving up something to then become, stronger. Which the characters don't do this. And, even Hisoka's rubber, all my rubber Nen is kind of just like, please save me, and then he got brought back to life, which I don't really have that big of an issue with, but I don't think Nen's as great as some people think it is, in application. Crosscut will go nowhere. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it with you, man. It only works with Red Leg and Black Leg. Yeah, well, Red Leg Zeph and Black Leg Sanji is different because those characters have a different relationship. Brain Hunter and Pyre Hunter, one just sounds cornier, and it is cornier. No, but the thing is, Deep Prophecy, is that, like, if you're in a life or death situation, everyone should be willing to give up anything in order to live. Right? So, like, there's no restriction, like, oh, Gon was... Only Gon could, like, even then that would kind of be like, oh, that's very convenient. Only Gon can give up that stuff. It's like, any character in a life or death situation should have the ability to do that. And they technically do, they just don't. Talk about it says, Dritz, Nen isn't perfect and questionable in certain respects, but I think there is way more thought put into it that matchups do matter and characters have to think about their actions. Well, I agree with you that there is more thought put into it, but here's my thing. It's like, yeah, like there's a lot more thought put into Nen. But here is my counterpoint for Nen. For as much thought is put into it, the fights are somehow worse than series that are more simplistic. Make that make sense. And that's like, bar Nen's, like, contradictions with, like, what I just pointed out with the whole Gon thing. My biggest issue with Nen is that it has such a high ceiling, but it has probably the lowest fights out of most shonen. Which, for me, just seems kind of like a waste. Sanji or Chopper? Chopper. I'm the world's most skilled YouTuber. Let's go. I got that praise from Messi. Will this be a VOD? Yes, it'll be a VOD. The point is that they're not willing to do it. I don't think that distinction's really made the prophecy about like the Nen stuff. Like that's why I said life or death situation. If people are willing to give up anything, like you want to live. It's not like people are like, oh well, I could make a contract. I'm just not willing to sacrifice stuff so I could live. So I'll just die instead. It's like that doesn't really make any much sense to me. Like, it would be different if a lot of people didn't know you could do that, but obviously people who are at the upper echelon can do that. So it's something that's not a restriction. KG says, Dritz, why can't I, in a fight, make a contract to get a specific ability to beat someone and just put in the contract that I would die if I used it on someone else? What's the real risk there? There's none. Or the risk would be like, oh, you know, you get sucked or something. It's like, okay, well, at least I don't die. Have I seen the YouTube channel A-Lists exists? Made a response to your downfall of One Piece? No, I've never heard of that person. For the lowest fights, is that necessarily bad writing though? No, like I said, like at the lowest end, it's like fine if like people just, you know, people who suck don't know about it. But people that don't suck should know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like as the thing that was said earlier, it's like for a person who's sort of like mastered to a certain level is one of the strongest people in the verse, such as like Netero. When Netero is fighting Meruem, it's like, you know, Netero could technically, because he's like a Nen god, could have made a contract, sacrifice stuff to put himself back into his prime if he wanted to. He just didn't, because that's not what Togashi wanted to do. But logically, that could have happened. Which is like the issue with the whole Nen thing. Which, as I said, isn't my biggest issue with Nen. I'm just pointing it out as, you know, that is technically, you know, it's not like it's a lie or anything. There are more important things with Nen that I care about. That's just one thing. What do I think about the Andrew Tate ban? Anyway, boys, I'm going to end the stream in 5 minutes, so if there's any last questions, let me know. Whose exposition is worse, Togashi's or Oda's? Togashi's. Andrew Tate versus Sanji, who wins in a kickboxing competition? Well, Andrew Tate's all about the grind, so he'll win, because he'll grind his way to victory. Yes, Glam. Oh, hold on. There have been some pretty trash characters. We can't underestimate the douchebags, Glam. Yeah, I agree, Wesley. I mean, the biggest criticism for Togashi is that he does too much telling and not enough showing. He's obsessed with telling. He loves talking in a visual medium. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by. This will be going up on the second channel, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.